Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Play FrogComposband. Yeah, don't ask. This is an Angband variant, as you may have guessed, or may already be aware, that one that I've only come across or learned about pretty recently, after I got reminded of the existence of these games by pure coincidence. And, well, for me, I always play these games, play roguelikes, and more often than not, Angbands, for some time, quite excessively, and then I stopped playing them for some time, and then every now and then I get the urge to play them again, and reading about Angband, the original Angband in this case, triggered this urge again. And I also learned a couple new names, new to me. This variant being one of them. And so I gave it a try, and it has some features that I hadn't seen before and that I like, and is otherwise, the same good old Angband that I like. And so I've found myself spending some time with it, and I figured why not record at least a video, or maybe a few, depending on how well this run or maybe subsequent runs go. I have been playing the same character, the same type of character, for a couple of runs now, hoping to, get further than maybe level 5 or so in the first dungeon, and beating the first couple of quests. And so far, I have not succeeded in doing so, but I'll give it another try, and I think it's a pretty interesting one. I went with a random character. In fact, I did check out the monster game mode, just because I didn't remember ever really trying that, and chose a random monster, and the game gave me a beholder. So I'm gonna go quick start actually, which should give me the last character that I created. Yeah. Okay, so we have Oyon, which is also a randomly generated name, which I kind of liked and just stuck with. A patient beholder. Patient because I figured the extra constitution might help, because beholders in this game here are not particularly physically strong, so some extra hit points should help, at least early on. In the long run, it shouldn't really matter that much either way. What else? I guess we can read about the class, or the race actually, which is both race and class in this case. Not sure what that gazer is all about. Beholder gazer. I don't remember that being there. Actually, let me see here. Beholder. When I choose that, it doesn't let me choose a sub-race or subclass or anything. Thought that was a thing in some other variants that I played, but yeah, I don't know what that's about. Anyway, let's read about the beholder. Beholders are floating orbs of flesh with a single central eye, surrounded by numerous smaller eye stalks. They attack with their gaze, which often confuses or even paralyzes their foes. They are unable to wield normal weapons or armor, but may equip a single ring on each of their eye stalks, and the number of eye stalks increases as the beholder evolves. Well, okay. A couple of observations after having played this beholder a few times. You can indeed wear one piece of armor, and that is a helmet, which makes sense because I guess you're technically all head. So that's neat, I suppose. Also, you actually seem to start out with 0 eye stalks, because at least early on, and up until level 5 or 6 or so, I have not been able to equip any rings. So I don't know at which level you start growing any eye stalks, but at least early on you're extremely limited in your equipment, of course. I mean, even more limited than you will end up being at some point. So that's kind of tough. Beholders gain powers as they evolve, including some strong offensive spells. But their primary offense will always be their powerful gaze. Intelligence is their spell stat, and beholders are quite intelligent indeed. Their searching and perception are legendary, and they are quite capable with magical devices. However, they're not very strong and must be careful when surrounded by foes. Yep, all true. The attack of the beholder is unique. Since their gaze is not a normal physical attack, in fact it is not a physical attack, period, they receive no benefit to melee from their strength and dexterity. Also, the number of attacks is determined by level rather than the normal way, whichever that may be. In this respect, they resemble monks. Finally, the beholder need not be next to their foe in order to attack with melee. That is a little bit confusing. I'm not entirely sure what they mean, or if there is something to this that I don't understand. They may gaze at distant monsters, as you would expect. Though the range of their gaze is somewhat restricted, and prolonged long distance gazing will tire them out. So, from what I observe, you can attack in melee by bumping into enemies, but even then, the attack is still going to be your gaze. But that's free. That doesn't cost anything. And then you can cast gaze as a spell over a short-ish distance of 6 tiles, which costs 1 spell point per gaze, and I guess those are just identical, with the difference. The only difference being that the melee version, the close range version, does not cost anything. So you can always technically resort to that, but of course, once you're in melee, whatever you're attacking will be able to attack back. And yeah, you're kind of squishy, and also slow, which kind of sucks. One of the many reasons I wish you'd start out with at least 1 ice dog for a ring of speed or something like that, but oh well. Yeah, anyway, I guess we'll just jump into the game, and options should be fine. I did play around with some options. Yeah, about the stats, I'm not entirely sure how much of a role strength or dexterity play. I'm assuming wisdom doesn't really do anything, so actually, should I not be able to reduce that further? No, I can't. Ah, because I do get a bonus to that. I see. Right, yeah, okay, it's already at 8. I mean, I'm not benefiting from strength or dexterity for my melee attacks, but strength should still give me carrying capacity. Not entirely sure how the beholder carries its inventory in the first place. But, you know, let's not ask too many questions. Dexterity, I guess, might help with armor class, dodging, whatever. I don't know. I went with balanced, strength and dexterity, basically no charisma or wisdom, and maxed out int and con. And yeah, we'll see how that works for us. Right, so we start out here on top of the entrance to the low-level Warren dungeon. There is another one here, a shady entrance to a rebel hideout level 8, which I'm not familiar with from other variants that I've played. So that's kind of interesting, but of course it starts out at level 8, so I want to be a little bit stronger before I give that a try. There are 2 quests to be picked up in this town. One from the inn here. That's Trouble at Home. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, those are always the same. Right, a group of mercenaries. This one's actually not that tough because there is only a small number of enemies. But I don't trust myself to survive that at level 1. Right, so the entrance is right there. The other quest is actually, hold on, while I'm here, I'm going to purchase a metal cap, iron helm. Actually, I can afford that pretty comfortably. So why not? Iron helm 01, yes. We can just wield that or equip that from within the shop inventory here. So that gives us 5 armor class, which is nice. Hopefully we'll find some really good helmet at some point to give us at least some armor. Or of course something magical that gives all kinds of bonuses. Right, then we have the Count, Ulrich II, who will also give us a quest. And that is an old acquaintance from all kinds of other variants that I've played, the Thief's Hideout, which now is also in town, next to the armor shop. We cannot use any weapons, so we don't need to check there. We cannot, I forget, what is this actually? Oh, the Beastmaster, Bounty Office, right. Oh, might as well check. Large Brown Snake. I mean, it's not worth a whole lot of money. Not really worth the trouble, even if we do come across some. I mean, some healing potions are always useful, of course, in a pinch. Word of Recall is actually reduced in price, but still kind of expensive. And I mean, I'm not planning to dive very deep early on, so what I am going to purchase, though, a brass lantern of duration. Well, I really wish I hadn't bought that helmet now, because that's useful. I mean, I guess it's only a longer duration. It's mildly convenient. Well, I mean, if it's still here when I return from my first dungeon trip, I should have easily enough money to purchase that. The one non-standard option I suppose I settled with for this game is to disable selling, so I don't need to bother hauling any loot from the dungeon to the shops, and instead I'm going to find more money in the dungeon. I don't usually play with that, or I haven't played with that a lot, but it feels like it should be pretty convenient. So basically, since this is a character who can't use any equipment, we don't need to ever look at any equipment that is not rings or usable items at all. Yeah. Anyway, so we might be able to get enough money to purchase that. But for now, I'm going to just go with the normal lantern, which is infinitely better. Well, it's twice as good as a torch, but yeah. Just having 2 tiles of light radius is so much better than 1 tile from the torches. I don't see how anyone does not immediately purchase a lantern and some oil and just goes with the torches. I feel like that's just so limiting. Anyway, yeah, some oil, even though you typically find oil long before you run out, but better safe than sorry. And we sell those torches. Let's see, all of those. Right, so we have some food, some oil, a lantern. We have a helmet on. No identification scrolls. Not that I could afford very many. I could buy some face door, perhaps. Maybe. Could help me in a pinch. They're off as well by a few percent. How many can I afford? 30. I should be able to afford all of those, right? Yeah. Okay, I can do some math on the fly sometimes. Anything else? No, it's okay. Either we're gonna survive the first few dungeon levels, or we're gonna be unlucky and die. And I don't think anything I could purchase there or purchase here in town doesn't really change much about that. So let's just jump into this first easy dungeon. And gain a few levels before we tackle any of those quests. Have I done the thing? I have not done the thing. Okay, so unfortunately the game does not remember any macros that you set up in between sessions, even when you load a file and continue the same character basically, or a descendant of the same character. So I will create a convenient macro. Have I actually looked at the spells? Detect monsters and gaze. So those are the spells you start with. I don't think I showed those. So detect monsters and gaze. Well, pretty self-explanatory. I talked about gaze, of course. So they both cost 1. Gaze, thankfully, has a 0% fail rate. It's extremely convenient. Also makes sense, I guess. I mean, how can you fail looking at something? Yeah, it does not list the damage. I hope the range goes up. I mean, obviously the damage must go up with level or something, and or intelligence. Yeah, detect monsters is pretty convenient as well, even if it starts out with a relatively high fail chance. However, for convenience's sake, I will make a key map. In fact, first I will make sure that it's not currently bound. Remove the key map from F. Found no key map. Okay. So we'll bind to F. And then it shows this \E, \E. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but Let's not worry about that. We'll bind that to MB for gaze, and then asterisk for to enter targeting mode. And what that allows me to do, if everything worked, is I just hit F, and it will automatically target some enemy within range, and I can then use the cursor keys to target other enemies, or hit asterisk again to cycle between all visible enemies in range. And then I just hit 5, and I fire my gaze at that enemy. So I find that very convenient. So here it says, you attack the floating eye, you gaze, it is unaffected. But of course we can also see on the right side that it has actually taken damage. So even though the game will say it's unaffected, or it resists, or it's immune, that refers to the special effect of the gaze, which has a chance, as the game mentioned, to confuse or paralyze. I'm not sure if it has any other effects on top of that, but it will certainly quite frequently confuse monsters that are not immune or very resistant to it. So that's certainly very convenient. But the damage, as far as I can tell, always applies. And I really hope that there are no enemies that are immune to that type of damage, whatever it might be. Well, I don't know if it is still handled as physical damage internally. I mean, it really shouldn't be. If anything, it should be considered like non-elemental magical damage, perhaps. Anyway, right, I want to equip my lantern first and foremost. Then I guess I'm gonna detect enemies. Okay, only a single jelly of some sort. Silver jelly. Those actually drain spell points, I think? Or are those the poisoning ones? Actually, those I think poison you. Maybe both. Who knows? 6 gray potions. Okay. Hopefully they're good. Hello there. You gaze, it's immune. Well, again, not to the damage portion. Draw physic. I draw. What did it say? You draw psychic energy from it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that means. I don't think I'm... maybe... No, I don't think... Maybe that's... I mean, it says psychic energy. But I don't think... I still used up SP. So I don't think I drained spell points from it. Maybe I drained its spell points, just period, just lowering its spell points. Maybe it would have healed me if I hadn't been full already. I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe we'll learn as we go. Yeah, it doesn't usually say this about draining psychic energy. Also, some enemies certainly seem more resistant to my gaze damage. Or maybe they just have more hit points, because, yeah, some enemies tend to die in just 1 or 2 gazes. But others, like specifically jellies, tend to survive quite a bit longer. Okay, we got more enemies over that way. So, yeah, of course, this monster detection, having that available very cheaply and right off the bat, is extremely convenient. Both for telling you about what's, what's waiting for you on the level, but also telling you about a bit about the layout of the level and where there might be rooms. Sometimes telling you about hidden rooms if you've explored everything and not found any doors yet leading to those areas. So yeah, that's nice. Also, one of the things that you might already have noticed if you're familiar with the same older, or well, with the same variants that I'm more familiar with. Levels in this one here seem to be quite a bit smaller than I'm familiar with, than I expect, and I actually quite like that because, I mean, what was that? Oh, that was just an alarm. Not a big deal. Some rubble. There's nothing wrong with large levels. Actually, what the hell is this? Trees. Yeah, I thought so. Can I attack those? Oh, I can't just walk through them, of course. Interesting. Oh, just a little indoor forest. And some rubble. Yeah, okay, let me just quickly finish that train of thought. So while there's nothing really wrong with those large levels, I mean, I guess technically there is something wrong. And that is that they just tended to be quite empty, at least in the early game, and got a little bit tedious to explore. Of course, the real pros probably don't even explore them at all, and just look for level feelings and ditch any level that isn't worth it. And sure, that's probably smart, but I found myself still exploring those large levels pretty much, completely every time, and making the levels smaller and everything more condensed certainly works better for me. So I'll just tunnel through this rubble. Boring place, okay. I mean, that's to be expected for the first few levels. Sometimes there's stuff hidden in rubble. Not this time, I guess. Okay, fair enough. Oh, blinking dots. Those are actually surprisingly dangerous, because they will confuse me. And being confused sucks. Almost as much, but not quite, as being blinded. Because it turns out... oh yeah, okay. Speaking of which. By coincidence, I've actually attacked the mouse. That's nice. Okay, let's wait. Okay, less confused. Yeah, so confusion sucks, but of course you can still accidentally attack, or at the very least move away from the enemy. But what really sucks is being blinded, because yeah, a blind gazer or a blind beholder cannot gaze, and thus not attack at all. Not even. You'd think that maybe you should be able to at least bump into the enemy and damage them somehow, at least a little bit, but nope. Gazing is literally your only way to attack, and yeah, so definitely try to never be blind, or have some sort of cure for blindness, or immunity, ideally. But of course, that's easier said than done. What did I do? Oh. Not what I meant to do. There you go. It's a nice amount of gold right there, thanks to the no selling option. Blinking dot is still around somewhere, I think. But I also think I'm just going to leave it be. Not worth my time. Okay, bomb mosquito blew up. I'm actually level 2 already. Didn't even notice when that happened. A robe that we have absolutely no use for. Yellow jelly is dead. I'm gonna regain some mana. Look for monsters. What? MA. Okay, a single worm. Let's see here. Okay, still 21% fail chance on that. It's going down though. And either way, it's not a huge deal if it fails every now and then. A lot of money right there. Green worm mess is confused. Poor worms. Leather gloves. No hands. Which does certainly raise the question, oh, reasonably safe. That's slightly less boring than What a Boring Place, so there might be something. Whoops. Might be something mildly interesting here. Oh yeah, okay, maybe just a decent number of enemies, or some enemies that are slightly higher than average for this level, like these cave spiders, perhaps? Okay, one-shot that spider. That's good. Oh. Ah, I confused the yeek, and it attacks the spider for me. How convenient. Okay. Spiders fight each other. Very nice. Oh, and then suddenly I get attacked. And I take a lot of damage. What are my options? I can face door, but that might face door me into the spider room. I have 6 potions, which have a decent chance of being light healing potions. You tend to find those in relatively large stacks early on, but of course they could be poison or something. And that would of course be pretty bad for me. Okay. Should I face door? I'm gonna try it. Okay. Yikes. I mean, where are the spiders actually? They just ran away? Like Naga. Can I tell whether it's aware of me or asleep or something? Maybe I should try to just get away, but I mean I can't really get to real safety. Huh? What did I do? Huh? Wait, what did I do? Didn't everything just move? I was trying to move up and to the right, but I didn't move, and everything else did. Interesting. Okay, we got those rats. The spiders all retreated into the tunnel, I guess? There were at least 2 of them left, right? Left, right, huh. Okay, I guess I have to deal with the icky thing. I'm poisoned. Well, I'm screwed, more like. Well, this is gonna be a bit of a shorter run, I suppose. That's okay. I think I'm gonna try to escape this place somehow. And the rats are not that bad. Ouch. Yeah, I know, I'm poisoned. You know what? At this point, I'm just gonna drink the potion. Blindness. Perfect. Literally the worst thing that could have happened. Could not be any worse. No, that's okay. I let you hit me. Yeah, right. You know what? I'm just gonna restart another beholder like this, and we'll see if I can make it a little bit further. This is probably the worst I've done so far, and that's saying something. Yeah, so see you in a moment. Well, I literally just entered the Warren again with the next character. I only just, only purchased some things in town. The usual lantern, 1 scroll face door and identify each, and the hard leather cap that, I just happened to have almost exactly enough money for, so I ended up with only 9 gold left. And yeah, this is an interesting one. I guess it's a mostly empty level, wide open level that I don't see very often, and definitely not for the very first level ever. Oh right, I also have to actually do the macro again. So let me just quickly remove that. I don't know why that's necessary to do, but I've tried binding the key map directly one time, and it just ended up not working for some reason, and everything was kind of weird. So MB asterisk, but deleting it first and then rebinding it does to work reliably. Grid bugs actually are really dangerous. Come to think of it, those have killed me before. They die pretty easily, but they actually deal a surprising amount of damage for such relatively weak early game enemies. Okay, but picking them off one by one, like this, over a comfortable distance, certainly works. Okay, whew. I thought it might be over. Oh, hi, Cobalt. Thought it might be over right here, but no. Okay, let's rest. Good. 5 XP for level 2. Of course, level 2 isn't really that much safer than level 1, but it helps. Okay, what does monster detection do? Okay, it actually continues in that direction. Interesting. I would have expected there to be something in the bottom right corner, and there might be. We're supposed to be excellent at searching. So I'll just activate search mode and wander around, or float around, I guess. What was that? Boring place, you say? Well, I don't know. I find this pretty interesting for first dungeon level. Okay. Well, since search mode does not reveal anything there, I guess there's nothing there. Hello? Uh-huh. A little bit more cramped here. Can't see you and isn't affected. Yeah, that's a thing, unfortunately. Can we not? I mean, can you really not see me? How can I target you? The game tells me I'm actually hitting. But okay, I guess. I mean, yeah, in the straight line I can't see them, but okay. Fine. Is this gonna work? Nope. Nope. I don't want to get this close to them. It's the thing. Ah, there we go. Finally. Slain one grid bug. Falls asleep. Oh yeah, see, that's one thing that can happen. So, confusion, sleep, and I guess paralysis. Uh-oh. I'm shocked. Okay, welcome to level 2. Thanks. At least this time I've noticed it happening. Okay, there's something over that way. So, aha, there's a door. I should rest a little bit, mostly for my spell points. Hello, there we go. Oh, lots of rats. So, yeah, I can't just attack them in melee, or, you know, gaze at them in melee range. Or I can do this. Hopefully stop them from multiplying. I mean, not that it matters really. Although there is also level persistence in this, which is not true for all variants that I've played. And I also do like that, where, you know, when you go up and down the same set of stairs, well, not necessarily the same set of stairs, but yeah, basically when you go up and down the dungeon, the levels do stay the same. They do not stay the same, or they do get newly generated when you actually, say you go down one staircase at a time, for, you know, however many, more than 2, I suppose, and then you take a, what are these called? A shaft down or up, or, well, up in that case. You would expect it to bring you up 2 levels to one level you have been to, but I'm pretty sure in that case it will actually bring you to a new level. So long as you go back up or down the same number of stairs at a time that you went in the other direction, you will be, you know, revisiting the same maps, unlike in the original Angband and most other variants that I know, where every level is always newly generated. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay. What are you actually? A newt. Oh, okay. That shouldn't be too bad. Large yellow snake, metallic green centipedes. Okay. Newt, hello. Okay. Apparently pretty easy. Okay. Somewhat unusual structure here? Maybe not. These warrens are definitely very more cave-like than your typical Angband level. But I guess there's a huge number of different dungeons. Actually, I never showed up the overworld map, did I? And yeah, those different dungeons are certainly gonna have their unique level layout styles. Oh, that snake is pretty tough. And now I'm getting attacked by 2 enemies. That's definitely not what you want. Yeeks are also surprisingly dangerous to a poor little beholder like me. Boring place. Yeah, game. I mean, sure. To you, perhaps. Oh. Okay, that's not a warg. That's just a jackal. Those shouldn't be too bad. They're fast, though. But they typically die pretty fast as well. They also like to run away. Cyan potions. Okay. Almost level 3. Very nice. Although I think we're out of enemies on this level. Oh, actually no, there's something over this way. Oh, wait. Welcome to level 3, even though the kobold is not dead. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Not entirely sure what's up with that. Huh. Okay, where is the staircase? Staircase. Where's the door, rather? I have seen those ants behind the wall. Or felt them telepathically or whatever. Is it here? No. Huh. Curious. Come on, I'm supposed to be excellent at searching. Or even better. Searching only fair, never mind. Why did I think I was much better than that? Well, obviously those are... Well, these early game stats are much worse than the ones listed upon character creation. Yeah, okay, I don't know. That's a first. Not being... it was there all along. Huh. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, Soldier Ant has been almost slain. Insect Swarm is dead. And... Of course there wasn't... Well, I mean, I suppose there was a chance for something good to be there. Level 3. I mean, we're slowly starting to... Or I'm slowly starting to feel a little bit more survivable. We have... Well, we still have our 1 emergency phase door spell. 5 cyan potions. I could just use my identify potion on those. I don't know, maybe... I guess I really should. Because those blindness potions are absolutely terrible. Yeah, you know what? Eventually I'll need to identify them anyway. Cure light wounds. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Don't know if those would have saved me last time. Maybe not. But, well, actually maybe. Those spiders had pieced out. At least for the time. I might have been able to deal with the rest of those enemies. I'm not sure about the Black Naga. That might have been a bit tough. But, yeah, the blindness certainly was the nail in my coffin. Okay, MA. Another newt. Don't know why I decided to make a beeline for that. But I did. Okay. Little side tunnel here. Let's check this out first. Empty room. I certainly would like some more, you know, scrolls. What was that? Boring place, yeah. Some scrolls, some potions, some wands and other devices. That would be nice. Green jelly. It tends to drain psychic energy from me. And it does. And it heals itself. Okay. I mean, yeah, I thought so. So when enemies drain psychic energy, that heals them. So I guess I sometimes do that to enemies as well. I draw psychic energy from it. But of course I'm not hurt, so I don't see the effects. Okay, wow. That was the closest I got to not being able to actually gaze an enemy to death. before running out of spell points. Interesting. Oh, that was rogue. Bit too hasty here, but yeah. Oh, he stole my money and ran away. What a jerk. Shrika mushroom. Mushroom? not mushroom for error here. Orange potions. Okay. We can just find that thief again. Although I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna get that money back. We'll see if he drops any. He did actually. Wow, that's a lot of money. Although I'm not sure if thieves that stole from you and that you slay will drop the exact amount of money that they stole from you. Oops. Or if they just drop money no matter what. Either way, we're already up to 1.28k. Not too bad. Should be able to do quite a bit of shopping with that. I think I'm going to go down to level 5 of the dungeon. Because why not? We're going to have to go to that level to find to beat the second quest from the Duke. Or the Count? Whichever. Which is to slay 5 wargs on level 5 of this dungeon. Also a quest that you might be familiar with from some other Angband variants. Basically every single one that had any quests in the first place typically had that as the second one, yeah. First the Thief's Hideout, then followed by the wargs. And this one adds second quest line, I guess, that starts at the inn with these local ruffians. Huh? Okay, that was some pretty tough rubble to tunnel through. No monsters, apparently. I guess that wouldn't make this a pretty boring place. Of course, the radius is limited, so... No, still nothing. Well then. I still feel compelled to explore everything. Well, obviously, we only look for monsters. There might just be unguarded treasures lying around. Oh, this is peculiar. In fact, hello. Oh, holy crap, what? Kobold. Just a normal kobold. What's going on here? Why did it hurt me so bad? I'm gonna drink a healing potion and hope that it heals me for more than I get damaged for. Okay. Even though it did attack me back. Jesus. It avoids my gaze. Well, I'm gonna heal again. Okay. Please get confused or something. I'm gonna attack it again. Okay. Whew. Holy crap. Since when are kobolds this bad? Maybe the other ones that you normally fight on these early levels, like small kobolds? Are they a weaker version? Holy crap. Okay, I mean, either way, that gamble paid off. I mean, I was pretty sure that I was going to survive at least one more hit, but I also hoped that I might actually kill it or disable it, and then kill it the next turn without using another potion. So, yeah, that worked. Okay, level 4. 49 hit points, 26 spell points. That's not so bad. Still no ice dogs, though. Let's retreat a little bit from that special room. Didn't the game tell me this was a boring place? That's like a mini, well, not a vault, I guess, but I don't know, some special room. Black potions, yeah, those sound healthy. Huh. Shrika mushroom patch and a blinking dot. Blinking dots suck. Not literally, but they confuse. Not quite as bad as blindness, but pretty close. Blinking dot blinks away, as they do. 4 indigo potions. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna be very careful not to run into that. I'm gonna try to be careful not to run into that trigger mushroom. They're so hard to spot though. I mean, I would like to kill it because otherwise it's still gonna be here when I go through the area again. I mean, technically I should have detected it here, but try to spot the one gray comma in between all the gray periods. And of course it might actually be out of range or something. I don't know. I don't see it. Well, that's okay. I guess I'll just... I mean, I guess to be safe I should probably grind all the way to level 5. Character level 5, that is. Before I try the quests that are considered level 5 quests, after all. Although the one with the... what's it called? Nope. Control Q? Yeah. Trouble at Home. 5 mean-looking mercenaries. I mean, those aren't that bad. And the quest level is actually relatively large and spacious. And they don't typically all come after you, unlike the thieves in the Thieves' Hideout, which is a very cramped place, and those thieves know about you immediately and all come swarming you. So yeah, that tends to be more dangerous than you might think. Wow. The thing is resistant. Holy crap. Okay. Huh? What's that? Deny... Say to rest? Oh, there you go. Okay. Presence of monsters. Let's see. Giant white mouse. That's going to start multiplying. Slimy worm mass. Those... I want to say those do something more. Oh, I thought those had some sort of special ability that normal colored worm masses don't, but maybe not. Okay, let's see. Interesting. Doors leading nowhere. What was that? Pick the lock. Oh, okay. Flasks of oil. Wonderful. Cobalt. A few large cobalt, actually. Huh. I would really like that guy to wake up, assuming it's sleeping. Can I actually tell? Shouldn't it tell me somewhere? I think the color of its health bar actually tells you something about its status, but I mean, yeah, it's not moving. Obviously, it hasn't noticed me. Ah, okay, now it has. And I should have not waited until it closed the gap, but here we are. It's not taking nearly as much damage as I would like, and it's actually much tougher, or at least as tough as the other Cobalt before. No surprise. I don't know why I did this. That seems pretty foolish in retrospect. I guess I'm gonna face door and probably actually try to get out of here. And yeah, let's try that. That seems to be by far my best option. What? You failed to pronounce the incantation properly. That is not cool. Try that again. That brought me here, which is better, if only slightly. I guess I'm gonna try to make a run for the stairs. Uh-oh, I could go to the next level. Okay, let's check for the kobold. Oh god, there are more enemies everywhere. Okay, the kobold has turned around, so it's not coming after me. I was thinking that maybe if it was just rushing down this corridor, trying to come after me, I might not even be able to make it past this door or to this door to close it. And even then, it could just open it. A Zog? What the hell is a Zog? What is up with this level? A Zog. Drooling insectoid aliens with disgusting habits. Okay. Whatever those may be. The worms are multiplying. Oh, this is a mess. And of course, most of the other enemies here shouldn't be a big problem. Specifically those worm masses. Maybe I should cure myself a little bit to feel a bit safer. I don't know. So, should I stick around? Where's the kobold moving? Okay, it's moving in that direction, but there's two of those. Holy crap. I mean, I have made it to level, I want to say character level 6 on one of my previous beholders. And definitely to at least dungeon level 5. Completed the first couple of quests too, so yeah, it's definitely possible, and I certainly did not run into this kind of trouble just killing things. Maybe I just didn't run into any large kobolds. But even the normal kobold was so much tougher than I remembered or expected. Well, let's see. Slaying Worm is... I draw psychic energy from it. Oh yeah, that certainly does heal me. Interesting. I guess it only works on enemies that have spell points? Which kind of raises the question, why do these worms have spell points, if that's the case? Certainly don't remember healing of... what? Damaging that kobold. Because that certainly would have helped, to an extent. I don't know if I can actually keep these worms in check. Maybe. Come on. Oh, I'm completely out of spell points. Right. There's another one. How many more are there? A few. Am I actually making progress, or are there a billion more around the corner? Let's check. There are none. However, the kobolds might be on my trail. Maybe not. A wand. Let's grab that and get out of here, perhaps. Yeah. Close that door. Okay. Oh. Okay. Never mind. So maybe when you use a different staircase period, it brings you to a different level. Or a new level. That makes sense, I guess. Because the explanation has always been that you're not taking a staircase, but a set of winding and twisting staircases that, you know, get you to some new area at a certain depth, and not necessarily one specific confined level. What's average? The wand is average, whatever that means. I guess concerning the number of charges. Let's see what we have here. Only 2 enemies. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what was up with level 4. That was unusually dangerous, I want to say. Who are you, actually? Smeargle! Oh no. Wait. I can see invisible, apparently. Oh. Because normally Smeargle is a huge pain in the butt. I mean, it's probably still going to be a pain in the butt. It's moving extremely erratically, extremely fast. He's invisible, which is the biggest problem for most early game characters. He steals your stuff, he steals your stuff and then teleports to the other end of the dungeon, which of course in these small dungeons that this game features, or at least this dungeon features, that is slightly less of a problem. But I've certainly chased this guy around for I don't know, way too long, to no effect, to no avail. Okay, I mean, I did damage him ever so slightly. Immune, picks his nose. I mean, the good news is I suppose that he really does move completely erratically and very rarely, if ever, seems to want to attack you on purpose. So maybe if you never actively move next to him, he'll never attack you or steal from you. Of course, I'm about to run out of mana. Okay, well, he tried to steal from me unsuccessfully, and then teleported away. Of course, if I spend any time regenerating, he will also regenerate hit points. Now, maybe my spell points regenerate faster than his hit points, although I kind of doubt it. I mean, we'll see. PC, who are you guys? Okay, nothing too bad, I think. Also, Smeargle is not apparently... Well, he's either not detectable or out of range. Well, you know what, I should just let my spell points come back. There's a door here. I was hoping for a door somewhere else, but that's okay. Money. Hello, mage. Okay. 6 scrolls of face door. Useful. Welcome to level 5. Nice. Right. I guess I'm gonna go with all int. All in on int. Hoping that will increase my damage. It should at the very least increase my spell points, right? So yes, int. Confirm that. Feel very smart. Oh, how? Where? How is that centipede suddenly on the other side? I swear I did not see that. see it a moment ago. I thought I had killed it. Never mind. I guess not. Okay, where is Smeargle though? Presence of monsters. Are you sure? Where though? Is it another one of those blinking dots? Oh yeah, I think I see it. Yep, there it is. There it is. Get out of here. So I guess there must be something more in this direction here. Oh, there he is. Well, he's somewhere. Nothing? Did he teleport away again? Come on. Oh, he did steal from me this time. Annoying. And he's most likely completely healed at this point. Yep, sure enough. Well, I mean, not entirely, actually. And I did waste a lot of time. Well, not waste, but spend a lot of time hunting other enemies and just exploring the dungeon and looking for him. So I guess unless something bad spawns here, interfering with our little fight, if you want to call it that, I should eventually be able to kill him. stole from me again, so I guess he does occasionally just do that. Oh, there he is. Maybe you... Yeah, I guess you really can't detect him. Because that certainly must have been in range. Come on. What? He flees laughing. Just being able to see him helps so much. Makes this so much more feasible than with most early game characters. There we go, finally. We hate! You have slain Smeargle. You feel something roll beneath your feet. Yeah, more money is expected. Okay, and we ended up with quite a bit more money than we started out with. Nice. Corpse of Smeargle. I don't think he's one of the unique monsters that there's a bounty for, but I guess I can still give it a try. And well, we are level 5 now, and on our way to level 6, of course. I feel relatively confident that we should at least be able to... Well, actually, we should definitely be able to deal with the first 2 quests. Unless we get extremely unlucky. Shrieker Mushroom... Oh, Blinking Dot. Dang it, I didn't see that. Should have taken care of that one first. It's definitely the more annoying one. Oh, okay, we got more grid bugs. We actually... Huh? Is there a door in between us? Oh, there is. Lots of grid bugs. I guess at this point they're really not that much of a threat anymore. Alright. Maybe they never were a particularly large threat and I just happened to get unlucky one time. Felt like their shocking attack was just particularly damaging, but maybe I just got unlucky. Okay, we got some more enemies that way. Uh-oh. Don't tell me. We got Frisia again. Crap. In that case... Okay, she's kind of coming my way. Uh-oh. I don't like that. Yeah, she's definitely moving this way. Oh no. Close that door. Hopefully we'll find another staircase. Not really sure if that's even possible. 1, 2... Yeah, no, I guess it's possible because we've only seen 2 staircases up so far, so there is another one somewhere. Of course, it could be somewhere to the right. Okay, where's the cat? What? Oh, she's up there. And we're in a dead end here. Wonderful. Wait, I mean, I can always escape in the other direction, of course. Yeah, she's lingering around up there. You know what? I'm not sure I can deal with her. Maybe, I guess we were level 1 or 2 when we ran into her. Or was that even this run? Wait, was that in this video or on one of my earlier runs even? Am I sounding like a crazy person? I definitely ran into Frisia on one of these attempts, one of these last couple attempts. And she just wrecked me completely. I don't know, that might have been on one of the earlier characters. I only decided to actually start recording after already playing a few very short, unsuccessful sessions, so Yeah, I don't know, it's all blending together a little bit. I think I'm gonna actually take that downstairs case just to be on the safer side. So we're now on level 3. So if I actually find a shaft upward, that would be nice. Let's see here. Some enemies, but nothing too bad. Spotted mushroom patch. Normal kobold. Yeah, it certainly hits hard. And takes a few attacks to kill. Not great. I certainly don't remember kobolds being that much of a threat to early game characters, but, well, either they strengthened them for this game, or they've always been tougher than I give them credit for. I suppose this game has a really weak low-level early game humanoid enemy, the Yeek. Maybe some other game has kobolds as basically the weakest. Well, maybe Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup? Could be. Anyway, let's tunnel through that. Can we please have some sort of staircase? Some more oil? Not really needed, but I guess I'll take it. I was gonna say I can always sell it, but no, I can't, actually. More food? Sure. I mean, I haven't even become hungry. Guess I might as well eat one. Salamander is dead. Well, speaking of yeeks, there is my shaft upward, but I might as well check the entire floor out. Seems like I've been everywhere. Okay. Go up, and we're on level 1, almost out of this place again. Oh, hello there, soldier ant. Alright, one shot. Alarm trap. Nothing too bad. There's a freaking kobold again. Is it coming this way? Okay. Was trying to anyway. Can I? I don't know why I insist on disarming traps either. I don't think it gives you experience or anything. Oh, maybe it does. I should really try to pay attention one of these days. More oil, holy crap. I mean, I really don't need it, so let's just leave it there. Pretty sure I already have more oil than I'll ever need. Maybe that's not necessarily true, but sure feels like it. Okay, where are these stairs up? Am I crazy? Shouldn't there be stairs up? Back to the surface? Oh, there are. Okay. Hello? Okay, giant white centipede. I mean, if I see more enemies, I might as well take care of them. Every point of experience is valuable. And we're finally back up, and it's night. Wonderful. Thankfully... Who are you? Blubbering idiot. Out of here. Thankfully, we can actually just rest for the night. That should fix that. Wonderful. Okay, what do we have? Oh, we have the corpse of Smeargle. That's right. And we really only dove into the dungeon to gain some levels. Haven't completed any quests yet. Now let's see here. Oh, this is not the right... actually, hold on. Mushrooms of cure blindness. And some are reduced as well. Well, one is reduced, actually. Cure confusion as well. You know what? I really should get some of these. I mean, there's no reason not to do that right now, but... receive prize? No, nothing that you want. Fair enough. I guess I'll just dump that corpse outside your shop then, you ungrateful bastard. Let's buy... I guess let's buy the one Wait, what? Hold on. I meant to buy the one reduced mushroom. Yes. Not reduced by much, but you know. And then some additional ones. I don't know. 5 more? And I don't know about paranoia. I don't know what that even does. I mean, I'm sure it's in some way detrimental, but I don't know. I don't remember coming across that status effect as well as at all. So I'm not gonna bother with that. Let's get those reduced mushrooms of cure confusion. I mean, 3 should probably be okay. In before, it's not gonna be okay, but oh well. Let's see here. Identify, and wow, got a bunch. That's not the right letter. B and M. There you go. Still have phase door, right? Let's see here. Yeah, 6 phase doors should be okay for the time being. Got a ton of potions. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the wand. Let's see here. If I read a scroll of identify and say all, it should be exactly enough. Okay, potions of slowness, potions of booze, potions of sight. I'm guessing those cure blindness, maybe? Or give you a temporary more sight radius, perhaps? Resist heat and cold. It's nice that they merged those into one. I think that's also new to this game here. Or this game is the first that I remember having that. I'm pretty sure they used to be separate potions, and of course this does save you an inventory slot if you decide that it's worth having any of those with you at all. I'm not entirely sure if I do, but I mean, I suppose so long as I don't run into inventory problems, I'm going to keep them at least. Potions of heroism might help, although I'm not sure. I guess, does heroism give you temporary hit points? I think so. I drank one on a recent unsuccessful attempt in trying to identify unknown potions, or just, you know, an unidentified potion. It turned out to be one of those, and it did not speed me up. But yeah, it definitely makes you better at fighting temporarily. I'm not sure that affects gazing. It might. Guess I can give that a try sometime. Either way, we can give away for free those. And the booze that I don't know any use for. When you drink it, it only makes you hallucinate, as booze does, I suppose. Let's see here. Does the game tell me anything about those potions? It gives temporary see invisible and infravision and cures blindness when you quaff it. Okay. I mean, I already have see invisible and probably infravision? No, actually, I guess I can't see in the dark. Which is kind of interesting. I mean, if the gazer or the beholder intrinsically has see invisible, why not also infravision? Maybe you get that ability at a higher level. Who knows? I suppose with more eye stalks. I guess that's the idea, right? Yeah. So as soon as I grow another eye stalk, that one's gonna also come with not only with a ring slot, but also some new ability. Maybe something passive like infravision, or you know, something like that. Or another attack. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. I hadn't thought about that before. I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna work. I mean, either way, do I keep these? I mean, infravision is nice, I guess, but Is it really all that necessary? See invisible. Excuse me. See invisible seems like the big thing here, and we already have that. And cure blindness, of course, but we already have those of the mushrooms, and I don't need two things for that. And these potions are definitely more expensive. So if I'm going to keep one resource for cure blindness around, I guess that's going to be the mushrooms that I can more easily stack up on. Yeah, the potions of sight cost 123, whereas the mushrooms cost, what, 60? Or something like that. Not a big deal in the long term, but yeah, for now I think I don't need those. Resist heat and cold, yeah, as I said, I'm gonna keep those around because why not? Restore intelligence. I guess that would be useful, potentially. Does this place sell healing potions? Boldness, heroism. Light and serious wounds. I mean, the light cure light wounds is really does not heal for that much. In a really tight situation, they often only barely keep up with the damage you're taking when you find yourself in that kind of situation. So I wonder if I should just buy a couple of cure serious wounds. I do have the money after all, and I don't need any equipment. That certainly frees up a lot of my, or all of my funds for resources like this. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna, well, sell, give away my cure light wounds, and buy a bunch of cure serious wounds instead. Cure critical wounds, I mean, there's only 3 of them available, and they're also quite a bit more expensive. Also, probably a bit of overkill or overheal in this case, because I don't have that many hit points yet. So, okay, the game tells me that I could afford 18. That's good to know. I think, you know what, let's buy 10 for 1200. Sure, why not? Right, I also used all of my identify potions, so let's buy a couple of those. In fact, probably as many as I can. Because why not? Is there anything I'm forgetting? I have all the oil I will ever need. I have those healing potions. Yeah, I mean, sure. Cure blindness, cure confusion, enough food, enough oil, resist heat and cold for, I don't know, if I find myself needing that. Heroism, I guess I'll try and experiment with it and see if it actually, will it not, causes temporary heroism. Oh yeah, really. Thanks, game. I would like to know what the heroism effect actually does. Or, I mean, I think I know what it does. The question is whether its bonus to, you know, melee combat affects my special kind of melee attack. My guess would be either they forgot to consider that, and it does, because internally the gaze is considered a melee attack, or probably more likely they did not forget and it is not affected. But I don't know, it could go either way. Wand of Stinking Cloud, right. Will I use that? I mean, I guess. Stinking Cloud is relatively useful. Fires a ball of poison, right. I thought, is it really just poison, as in poison that deals damage? I thought Stinking Cloud was more something that disables enemies. Well, I guess it's poison in this setting. Okay, well, I wondered if I should just call it an episode here, or keep going. Kind of want to deal with the quests here. I mean, it's already a long episode, and that's what I kind of used to go with for these roguelikes anyway, because these are kind of a, you know, I don't know, a slow, at least to me, a slow kind of game to play that seems, I don't know, it seems natural to also go for for long, slow-paced videos like this. So, you know what? It's my video anyway. I'm just gonna do what I feel like doing, and that's, for now at least, just to keep going at least a little bit longer. Singing Happy Drunks. I don't need to kill these, but then again, I'm a beholder. What the hell do I care? I don't need to adhere to silly human ethics or anything. Okay. Yeah, I mean, those mean-looking mercenaries can, on occasion, take a good number of hits before they die, but generally speaking, they're not that bad, and they also tend to get confused somewhat quickly, and thus not even start posing a threat. Of course, in before one of them resists just enough to hit me once and one-shot me. Okay. Oh, well, he's right there, but that one I actually one-shot. Well, two-shot, I suppose. There's the next one. Okay, that one's upon me. Avoided my gaze. But he also did not attack me. Wow. He resists. I gazed again. He's unaffected. But then he flees in terror and falls asleep. And flees again. Make up your mind. Okay. I think that's that's already 4 out of the 5 I was supposed to kill. Okay, quest complete. More resistance potions, because why not? There might still be some miscellaneous enemies around, and there are all these side rooms with miscellaneous items in them. Usually equipment, I was going to say, but I guess it's just completely random. So it might very well be consumables, including devices. Huh? I attack it. What exactly? Okay, I guess I can't see ghosts. That is interesting. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that must have been a hungry ghost, right? But am I wrong? Can I not see invisible? Because Smeargle definitely is invisible. Or has been in all other variants that I've played. Which made him such a huge pain. I could have sworn that I ran into him in an earlier session with a different type of character in this variant. It might have been a different one that I also recently discovered. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's not invisible here, and I just assumed that I could see invisible when I really couldn't. That would be inconvenient, of course. Or a shame, you might say. In that case, I kind of wish I had kept those potions of sight, but oh well. Potions of booze, no thanks. Gloopy green potions. Pieces of elvish whey bread. I guess they're better, as in, I don't know, in what way specifically? Better than normal rations of food. They are... I can't... Okay, so it's... they weigh 1.5 pounds for 5. So... 0.3 pounds. My god. Whereas the rations of food are 1. Okay, so they're less heavy, but probably at least as nutritious. Does it really matter that much? Not sure. But I mean, I have 5 of them, and they should last me a good long time. So I guess I will replace my rations with those. Rounded pebbles. And do we have anything here? We do not. Okay. Well, yeah, as expected, this quest was easy. The Thieves' Hideout should also be easy, so long as I don't stumble into any blindness trap. Alright, momentarily I forgot where I was. It is slightly disorienting sometimes when you're just used to your character being the add symbol. And when you're playing a monster, it just, well, gives you the respective monster symbol. Anyway, I want to drop, actually, I want to eat one of my rations of food. So I'm full, and then drop the rest. What else? I guess I can identify mold juice. Is that... It sounds nasty, but I think it's not actually harmful, just not very useful. It tastes weird. Yeah, I think it just gives you some satiation and nothing else. Feel less thirsty. Yeah, I don't think there's any use for that. I might be wrong, but I'm going to drop those. Versions of boldness. Okay, so I can drink those when I'm afraid. Drink. Yes, actually, they are potions. I don't think being bold otherwise helps you immediately, so long as you're not afraid. Other than maybe protecting you from becoming afraid while you're bold. Well, I don't, as in, I don't think it gives you any combat bonuses. But I suppose it's still useful to have some around. Stone to mud. Basically, a wand of digging. Could be useful, I guess. Inventory is slowly starting to fill up, but I mean, for now we're still good. So I guess... Also, I don't need that many flasks of oil. Drop. Flasks of oil. Let's drop 7 of those. That's still more than I'll ever need, most likely, but you know. I guess I can turn in the quest right away for experience. Okay, Ring of Protection +3. That's nice, except that I can't actually use it yet. See, if I try to put it on, the game tells me I have nothing I can wear. And when I go to equipment, it only shows 2 slots, helmet and light. Not really sure where or how I'm holding the light, but you know. That's fine. Hopefully I'll grow an ice stalk sometime soon. You know what? I told myself I was literally not gonna move away from the stairs when attempting this quest, because as I may or may not have talked about earlier, one of these last characters, I attempted the quest, took 1 step, maybe 2 steps, into a blindness trap, and then got slaughtered. Now, thankfully, this time around, I have a way to cure that. But still. Silly. I'm also full. I hope I can still... That would be funny, wouldn't it? Well, I'm not bloated. I think there is something past full. So I should be able to do this. Okay. Okay, I'm still only full. I don't know where that trap is. What are we dealing with here? Nibelung. Novice rogue, scruffy looking hobbit, bandit, tax collector. Okay. Ah, okay, I stood on the... Right, that makes sense. There you are. Okay. Unaffected. Okay. He exploded into money. I like that. Okay. What? How did that guy just appear next to me? Okay. Oh, I guess they're just too fast for me. Even if I just stand still waiting, they'll still sometimes move more than 1 tile, which is certainly confusing. I'm not used to playing a character that that's slower than average. I know that was a risk, but I feel like it's useful to see them coming from a bit further away. Will you guys actually die sometime? Oh hey, there's a trap. Okay. Almost dead. There we go. Level 7. And the quest is complete. Okay. That means that finally this level is actually cleared. Okay. Disarm the trap. Disarm that trap. 400 gold pieces. More gold pieces. Mushroom of Cure Confusion. Oh, that was stolen from me. More money. Unknown Scroll. Potion of Boldness. Was that stolen from me before? And this? Probably? Yeah, apparently. Okay. Resist heat and cold. I guess they did steal various miscellaneous items from me rather than just money, as they usually do, or used to do in other versions. Might be wrong about that. Phase door. Okay, just making sure I'm not missing anything useful to me. Slime mold, pebbles. There should be some items naturally occurring in this place though. Like another unknown wand. Always nice. Could be something good. Of course, I'd prefer some rods or staffs, but you know, a wand can be useful, I guess. A Malgosh. Since I have neither right nor left hand, that is not useful. Is there actually something in this upper corner? There might be. I feel like... Thought there used to be a secret wall into that room, but maybe not. Okay. A secret wall, well, secret door, of course. Okay, fine. Guess we're done here. Completely forgot to pick up the second quest from the inn, but that's okay. Let's get our... Okay, interesting. The game considers that we cannot use weapons and gives us something that we can theoretically use, which is another ring. Because normally you get a sword. I think it's pretty much always a broadsword with some decent, pretty decent protections, well, enchantments for early game that you get for this quest. And then a shield for the follow-up Warg quest. Let's see what we get, what the Beholder gets instead. Well, Ring of Protection, NXFA, resist acid. Ability, resist acid? Is that an active thing? Interesting. Okay, Pest Control, level 5. Number of Wargs. Should be 5 of them. See here, Ring of Protection, well, 2 Rings of Protection. Does the game tell me anything more? Resist Nexus. Okay, that's certainly an element type that I don't remember from any previous variants that I played. And free action, okay. Doesn't mention. Oh, activation resist acid there. There it says it right there. Interesting. And this one, resist confusion. See invisible. Ah, okay. Ah, SI, see invisible. CF. What? Oh, that's just for confusion, not RC for resist confusion. Okay. Not very consistent there with those shorthands, but that's okay. I guess resistances to damage types are just the abbreviation for the damage type, as in NX and CF. Okay, and that second ring also gives us armor class, or would if if we could actually use them. Dang it. Let's see here. Actually, I completely forgot to look for better helmets. What the heck is a Jingasa? Examine. Q. A Jingasa. Nothing? Isn't it supposed to at least give me a brief description? Metal cap. Metal cap. A pot helm of steel that protects the skull. Yeah, okay. I guess even whoever put the Jingasa into the game wasn't quite sure what it was. Sounds like some traditional Japanese type of helmet, perhaps. Either way, it's better than what I have, and I can afford it. So I guess I'm going to afford it. Q. Yes. Put that on. Oh, my cap was also damaged, apparently. I didn't realize it was -2. Well, that's... okay, that certainly didn't help. Huh. Nothing to give. I suppose. I'll just drop that piece of crap then. Oh yeah, suddenly I have 7 armor class. Okay, that might help a little bit. Huh. Not sure how that happened. Well, I guess for the time being, I am going to, pretty much for the first time ever in any of these games, store some items. Well, I guess I might have done it before, but I really usually don't, because I don't often find myself having a need for this. But, so we drop. Yes, we drop the other ring as well. Right, we have 1 unknown scroll and 1 unknown wand. Otherwise, everything's the same as before. So we're gonna quickly identify. Enchant weapon. Well, that's completely useless to us. So that's nice. We can just drop that. And we can identify that wand. A wand of heal monster, which is also useless. Nice. I mean, something useful would be better, but I'm always happy to free up some inventory space. I'm also happy to buy more Scrolls of Identify because I have more money. So let's do that. You know what? They're never not going to be useful, so I'm just going to buy those. I probably should have invested some of my money in more healing, but you know, that's okay. Should have a decent amount for the time being. And I'm also going to pick up this next quest, even though that's a pretty high level one, relatively speaking. Crow's Nest Outpost, near Outpost, I guess, it tells you. But it's very nearby the town. Level 15, there have been a flock of birds attacking people on the roads and carrying away their valuables. We think they have a nest up in the hills to the south. Right. And indeed, a new quest entrance, appeared right there, next to the rebel hideout. Which, I mean, we are level 7. We're almost the same level as this dungeon. I should probably still try to maybe get a little bit stronger before I try that one. And definitely try the war quest first. That's on level 5 of the first dungeon. Of course, that could be tough. You know, with those relatively small levels, and the wargs are not that weak, especially when they swarm you, which they sometimes like to do. So, oh, hi there, raving lunatic. So yeah, that's by no means free, but actually, I guess right, I bought all the scrolls that they had. I still have money. Should I invest in more healing? Let's see. Cure blindness. Oh. How did I lose one of my mushrooms of cure confusion? I had 3 of them, right? I certainly didn't eat one. Ah, one was eaten by the ghost. Yeah, okay. I remember. Boldness and resist heat and cold are probably not that useful to me. But for now it's okay. Stinking Cloud could be useful. In fact, in a situation where I'm facing several wargs, for example, I could maybe poison them all. That could be nice. Of course, it doesn't really stop them from attacking me from multiple sides. Well, anyway, let's deal with that when we get there. Depending on how this goes, the next episode might be very, very short. Well, I mean, in reality, I'm just gonna start the next character then. Maybe a different one. Maybe I'll explore some other options. Although I'm still curious to see where the beholder can go if he manages to go a little bit farther than this. Because yeah, at this point, I guess this is my most successful beholder so far. Yeah, we'll see. I'll try to make it as far as possible, obviously, needless to say. But that's going to be next time. Not entirely sure when that's going to be. Hopefully sometime soon. But yeah, anyway, stay tuned, and thanks for watching, as always. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye!